live market profile and order flow trade analytics by Tradeducation. We are at episode 238, and before I share today's analysis, I'd just like to share a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activities. Okay, so let me quickly share my screen, and I'll just a quick let's study what's happening today. Before that, what happened yesterday. Okay, so yesterday's analysis, so let me just minimize this. I'll just try to explain you the context, and sorry for the sort of the blurry chart. There are a lot of references, so just try to ignore that. But from the context perspective, this is what I want to share. So earlier, a lot of inventory was too short, went from short to too short. We had an inventory adjustment break. So after this, I was expecting maybe the auction to open within this range and see some sort of balancing. So this did not happen. But what happened is yesterday the auction opened with a good gap up of some 150 points, and this traded, or this was more like a balance state. Okay, so this is what has happened yesterday. Now coming to today, today is a very, I think yesterday's day was a bit hard to trade, but today I was able to find two trades. One was a fast trade and one was a slow trade. The fast trade is basically, so this is the where the auction opened, and it immediately went down, and then it snapped back again. So there was, so the yesterday's low was weaker. There were some unfinished auctions, and so this was one of the reference area which I was monitoring. So when this snapped back, that I just took a fast trade, keeping my stop loss around today's low, the pre-market low, and the target was peacock. Yeah, so this was a good trade activity which happened. So this was one good trade, a fast trade. The second trade which I was able to spot, which I was not able to take, is rejection at peacock. So when B period started, it was continuously moving higher. So when it was trying to move higher, I was trying to see whether we reach the value area high or the poor high, EV poor high of yesterday. So that is what I was looking at, and what happened was there was no follow through to the upside. We had some trapped buyers. So there are some 452 trapped buyers as per the order flow chart. So I was actually looking that we should see continuation higher, but it did not happen. Uh, Plus, if you see this structure, the structure, overall market structure from the based on the market generated information from market profile, you see that this is very jagged. Like a lot of sellers came in. So this was a very visual reference. So that's why the auction just reached this level, and then it was unable to find any new buyers. So sellers stepped in, and then right now we are seeing a sort of one-time framing to the downside. Yeah. So what I'm expecting is, what I'll be observing and expecting. I would say, let me start with the observation. So I'll be just observing whether we see continuation to the downside or not. So I'm not seeing any trade location right now. Yeah, this was a good slow trade wherein I shorted calls. Once the auction reached below peacock, yesterday's peacock, with the target of today's value area low. So this was a good trade. So one good trade to the upside, one good trade to the downside, and I'm just done with the day. Yeah. So that's what happened. There are weaker references developing. This is also a low volume area node. And if you see yesterday, this was a low volume area node, and today the same area is developing. Yeah. So this is where the auction is, spending time, and now it is seeing a sort of rejection. So some visual selling happening, and yeah, some visual selling happening, and again we are, this low is still weaker. So I'm expecting continuation from the sellers and see whether, I'm not expecting the gap to be filled, but first target or first observation is whether the unfinished auctions at low are getting cleared or not. Okay, so yeah, so that's it. I wanted to share. I'll try to keep my sessions a bit short, maybe under 10 minutes. So this is just a mid update. Apart from that, if you guys have any questions, you can use the chat window and let me know, or else I think I can stop this session and we can yeah, continue observing the session. But yeah, right now just choppiness action going on. This is the HVN. We are, the POC is migrating lower. The current A, B, C, D, E period low is weaker because it's exactly at a reference. It's at a visual reference. So yeah. So I'm expecting continuation to the downside and see that one-time framing continues. But right now there's no trade I'm able to see. There's no trade location. And overall, a big massive gap. There are certain references. Let's see whether this gap, so this gap is of how many points? Of 97 points. So 97 points is not a big range. I think we can achieve today. So to be honest, I don't know. But right now, let the choppiness be there. Currently, overall delta is still positive. Lack of selling, lack of buying seen. Just sideways development. Just looking at order flow. Yeah, nothing much. Nothing much is seen. And overall volumes are also not so good. Hourly volumes are decreasing. So yeah. So just game to wait and watch and see what happens next. Okay. So no questions. So I think let me end the session and thank you. And let's again catch up tomorrow. Yeah. Take care. Happy and safe trading. Bye for now.